Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have the Cornel cherry, Cornus mas. This is actually not a cherry, but a dogwood. However, a lot of nations would call everything with small red fruit a cherry. And you must admit, if you are able to see them, there, that's the fruit, are kind of small and red and look like cherries. So the Cornel cherry is not native to Germany, it's native to Southeast Europe and Turkey. And in Bulgaria it's pretty important for us, for a lot of our folklore and traditions. So here in Germany it's not native, but still you can find it pretty much everywhere, although it usually doesn't look like this. You can find it pretty much everywhere in modern hedgerows, in towns, cities, parks, along roads, and usually it looks like a shrub. This here is a really beautiful old tree. Look at this. This is about 30 centimeters thick, and they grow very slowly and actually don't grow very big. This is one of the biggest I've seen. They don't grow very big, but they have very, very, very hard wood. So hard that in a lot of languages, they have names which refer actually not so much to the fruit but to the wood. Like the Latin name Cornus, the genus name of the dogwood, means horn, because the wood, the timber, is about as hard as horn. Also the German name for the native German dogwood is Hartriegel, the hard bar, because the wood is very hard and it was used to make bars for doors and gates, because you don't want people to break into your house, so you make the bar from the hardest wood you can find. And there seems to be almost nothing harder than dogwood in Europe. Well, but let's go back to the fruit. Small and red. This year, by the way, is not a good year for dogwood. I don't know why. A lot of them fruit very late. A lot of them don't have a lot of fruit. This year has an acceptable yield this year, but not much. So no idea why it's a bad year for dogwood. Last 2 years have been pretty droughty, pretty dry, but the dogwood from Southeastern Europe should be able to cope with this. The fruit are extremely interesting. Actually, they are used as food, but they're also used in traditional medicine. Well, if you use them as food, you will realize, okay, this was a really nice, fully ripe fruit. When they are dark red and getting soft, they are fully ripe. Now let's try this one, which is not completely ripe. Oh yeah, sour and astringent despite being 3/4 ripe. That's what the seeds look like. But astringent is the operative word. So those little fruit, you can use them for food. There are even cultivars on the market, cultivars with bigger and sweeter fruit. However, they are all very astringent. So what do you use them for in folk medicine? Well, when I was little, everybody made about 1 or 2 little jars of this dogwood or Cornel cherry jam each year. And whenever somebody had the runs, they would give them 1 or 2 spoonfuls of this jam, and the condition will be fixed. So basically this stuff gives you constipation. It's so tart, so full of tannins, that it gives you constipation. So you should eat it only if you have the runs. If you have constipation, you shouldn't eat it, because it will make your constipation worse. So yeah, I remember a couple of times as a little child when I had constipation, I got a spoonful of this jam and it fixed it. So yeah, the Cornel cherry, a really nice and useful plant. A lot of Germans don't even know that the fruit are edible. Well, the features are quite easy to recognize. Here is a branch. I removed a couple of the leaves to show the buds and the fruit a little bit better. The leaves are opposite. When the fruit are ripe, you can usually already see the next year's flower buds. They are also very important in Bulgarian folklore traditions. And yeah, then you have the little red fruit, slightly elongated, and when you eat them, the seed should look something like that. Yeah, quite a useful little fruit, and when it's fully ripe, also quite tasty. So folks, if you are sure that you have the Cornel cherry and not some small red poisonous fruit, you can try it. You can harvest it from German hedgerows. Not the traditional ones, but the modern ones from the last 40 or 50 years. They basically all include Cornel cherry. Yeah, write me if you have your own experience with this interesting little medicinal fruit. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos. This time from the old abandoned hospitals of Heidelberg. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.